We are back. Hey, my next guest has a resume like a lifetime achievement personality, and there's not much he can't do and do well. If you're old enough, you might have recognized her from the hit sitcom Punky Brewster, or perhaps even her 10-year stint on Family Matters. Or, if you're keen on creative, independent movies, you've enjoyed her screenwriting, acting ability in I Do, I Did, among other credits. Well, we're going to find out what she's been up to as of late. Please welcome to the show, Miss Cherie Johnson in the building. Welcome, Cherie.
Oh, thank you so much. What a nice introduction.
Well, we try. We do. The staff is so great here, even though I fire them every week. Cherie, now I've done my homework, and I know your interviews are always fun to the point of having your full and energetic energy. And I know you've got 30 years or so history in Hollywood, but we're going to find out what you got up in the coverage of late, and I hope that's okay.
Oh, no, that's exciting. I appreciate that. Everybody wants to go back 30 years. I'm like, what about now?
Yeah, like, I haven't done anything in yeah, of course, you've done so much. I want to cover that. Yeah, they can look at reruns if they want to cover that.
Thank you so much, because they get so caught up with Punky and Urkel that we don't really, get to talk about all the great things that are going on now.
Absolutely. So now I hear, although you've been on the West Coast for a while, that you're really an East Coast girl at heart. Is that true?
Oh, not only am I East Coast girl at heart, but I'm bi-coastal. In fact, I just got back Thursday from my other home in Newark, New Jersey. I'm an East Coast girl all day, every day. I just make my money on the West.
Now, I also hear, because I'm nosy like that in your town, I think outside of Pittsburgh, Duquesne, you guys didn't even have a library growing up, and you had this goal to reach, right? Could you tell us a little bit about that story?
Absolutely. Our library, they actually burned it down because they didn't want black people swimming in the pool that was at the library around 1965. So they never rebuilt one. My mom used to take me on 2 buses 3 towns away to the library, and I thought the library was the most beautiful building I had ever seen in my life. You got to remember, I'm from the projects, so we didn't see big, white, beautiful buildings. I thought it was a house. And so all I knew was that one day I wanted to live in that mansion. And my mom told me the best way for me to get in that building and to go down in the history is to be an author. She told me that if I wrote a book, part of me would become history and I would live forever.
Wow. I'm in love with your mom already for being creative and outside the box.
My mom was awesome.
Wow.
She didn't realize that she put a goal in my little head, because at 5 I was like, okay, it's important. I have to go down in history. I want to live on through generations, and I need to be an author because that's the way to do this. So I've been waiting to write a book for about 30 years.
Well, you've definitely been putting it down in the book market. Now, how did you and friend of the show, author, publisher, Mr. J.M. Benjamin, hook up?
I'm actually a J.M. Benjamin fan. Down in the Dirty, Ride and Die Chick, those are my books. I'm an avid reader. And so I found out that he owned a store at that time in Plainsfield. So I found the number to the store through a mutual friend of mine who had met him, and I started calling the store looking for him. One day, he happened to pick up the phone. I called, and I was like, hi, is J.M. Benjamin there? Never really thinking he was going to answer. He said, this is he. How can I help you? After I started freaking out, I explained to him who I was. He had no clue what Punky Brewster or Family Matters was, so he did not care. But he was like,
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I don't know if you know J.M. Benjamin's story, but he did like 12 years.
Yeah, I do. He's incredible.
Yeah, he just, he was hustling. He wasn't worried about little kid shows. So I submitted my stuff, and what I submitted was a poetry book. J.M. doesn't do poetry. He's not into it. So he passed. Well, he never called me back to say, hey, I passed, so I kept calling back. Got him on the phone again, and he was like, yeah, it's not really what I do, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, I have something else. I sent him my other story. no word back for like 6 months. Then I called back and I asked him, have you read it? And he was like, no, I've been on the road, haven't really had a chance to check it out yet, but I will. And so that gave me hope. I let it ride for a couple more months, no word. My movie, I Did, was finally coming out, and it was playing on BET. So I text messaged everyone on my phone, letting them know that it was coming out. Well, the next day, JM hit me, and he said, word, you wrote a movie? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, resubmit me your book. So that means he still never read it. Right. He still never read it, but I didn't get discouraged. I resubmitted it, and once again, I saw hope. Well, he called me back 3 days later, and he said, hey, are you still interested in publishing your book? After I crawled up off the floor, I was like, yes, why? He's like, I'm interested in publishing you. So from there on out, it's history. I stayed on.
Man, that sounds just like him.
I was so excited. I mean, he was such a great. He's been a great mentor. He really answered all my questions. You know, even though I've been in the entertainment industry, the whole literacy game is completely new to me.